My name is Hope Prohl. I am 11 years old and in the 5th grade. In this project, I did my family tree, and I interviewed my mom, my dad, my 2 grandmas, and my grandpa. This is my grandma, Jane Davidson, but I like to call her Gigi. She's my mom's mom. What year were you born?
1946, the first year of the baby boomers.
What year did you graduate from high school?
1964. And
How many siblings did you have?
I had 2 sisters and 5 brothers.
How many aunts and uncles do you have?
I have 6 uncles and 1 aunt. That's all on my dad's side because my mom didn't have any brothers or sisters.
Where are my ancestors from?
Mostly from different European countries, but mainly from Germany, England, and France.
This is my mother, Holly Prohl. What year were you born?
I was born in 1975.
What year did you graduate from high school?
I graduated from high school in 1993.
How many siblings did you have?
I have 1 sibling. I have an older brother who's 9 years older than me.
How many aunts and uncles do you have?
I have 5 aunts and 6 uncles.
Where are my ancestors from?
Your ancestors on my mom's side are from Germany, France, and England. But on my dad's side, your ancestors come from Ireland, Scotland.
This is my dad, Dustin Prohl. What year were you born?
1972, right here in Chillicothe.
What year did you graduate from high school?
I graduated in 1991.
How many siblings did you have?
I have 1 sibling, my sister, and that's plenty.
How many aunts and uncles do you have?
I have 8 aunts and uncles.
Where are my ancestors from?
Your ancestors, well, a lot of them are from Germany. There are some from Scotland, and also some from England. This is Michael Prohl. He is my grandpa, but I like to call him Pop. He is my dad's dad.
What year were you born?
I was born in 1951 in Ross County, Chillicothe, Ohio.
What year did you graduate from high school?
1969.
How many siblings did you have?
4. 3 girls and 1 brother.
How many aunts and uncles do you have?
10.
Where are my ancestors from?
Germany.
This is my grandmother, Sharon Prohl, who I like to call Grammy. This is my dad's mom. What year were you born?
I was born in 1954 in Chillicothe, Ohio.
What year did you graduate from high school?
1972.
How many siblings did you have?
Just 2 brothers.
How many aunts and uncles do you have?
I have 11 on my dad's side and 7 on my mom's side, so that makes 18.
Where are my ancestors from?
My dad's side's from Scotland and my mom's side is from Germany.
I also asked my family members questions about how life was whenever they were growing up. Favorite game when you were growing up?
Oh, my friends and I and my sister, we played jacks all the time. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we play for hours and hours.
What was your favorite game when you were growing up?
My favorite game growing up was probably Chinese, jump rope, and the game of life.
What was your favorite game when you were growing up?
My favorite game growing up was probably really Axis and Allies because I've never been beat. You want to play tonight?
Sure.
Because I could always beat somebody else.
Yes.
Lose.
I'll try to beat you.
We'll see. We'll see.
What was your favorite game when you were growing up?
Croquet.
What was your favorite game when you were growing up?
Hide and go seek.
What was your favorite food when you were growing up?
Sausage and hominy. Whenever I go to my grandma's, I would always ask her to fix that for me. Have you ever had it?
I haven't had it with sausage, but...
Okay. We might try them together.
What was your favorite food whenever you were growing up?
I still love spaghetti. It's my favorite and has always been my favorite. I also like SpaghettiOs.
What was your favorite food when you were growing up?
My favorite food probably was pizza, because that's my mom would make pizza on Friday nights, and we'd watch television. Have a little picnic in the living room. She'd put down a blanket, we'd eat pizza, and watch TV. Usually, I think it was MASH.
Okay.
What was your favorite food when you were growing up?
Fried chicken.
What was your favorite food when you were growing up?
Pizza.
What was your favorite toy when you were growing up?
I had a little doll, and she's only about this tall, and her name was Jenny. And I know you still have her, and you play with her once in a while, right?
What was your favorite toy when you were growing up?
My favorite toy growing up was probably Barbies. I played Barbies with all the neighborhood kids and all my cousins. It was probably my favorite thing to do was play with the Barbies.
What was your favorite toy when you were growing up?
My favorite toy growing up, you probably already know this, but it's G.I. Joe. I love G.I. Joe. I had hundreds of G.I. Joe action
And
figures,
you still do.
and I still do. I could never part with them. Still love them.
Yeah. What was your favorite toy when you were growing up?
My cowboy guns.
What was your favorite toy when you were growing up?
My Barbie dolls. I loved them.
Did you have a pet when you were growing up?
Yes, my mom loved dogs, and we always had a dog. The first one we had was a collie named Lucky, and we had one, a boxer, that got in a little bit of trouble after Halloween one time. We all went to bed, and all of a sudden there was all this noise, and my dad and I went down, and he had gotten his head stuck in one of those plastic Halloween pumpkins because he was trying to eat all the candy out of it.
Did you have a pet growing up?
I didn't have a lot of pets because I lived in an apartment growing up, but my dad lived on a farm, and he had horses and cows and dogs and cats that I claimed as my pets.
Did you have a pet growing up?
Yes, I had a couple pets. We had some cats, and we had some dogs. And probably the dog I remember most was Spanky, because he was a real rascal.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you have a pet growing up?
I had a dog named Red.
Did you have a pet growing up?
We had lots of pets. My dad raised beagles, and we had the family dog, which was King. We had lots of cats, rabbits, a squirrel, a piranha, an alligator, a monkey. Let's see, some turtles and homing pigeons.
You forgot the parrot.
Yes, we did have a parrot. You remember that?
What was your favorite TV show?
Mickey Mouse Club. We always had to be home when Mickey Mouse Club came on. I still remember the song.
What was your favorite TV show?
My favorite TV show was Punky Brewster, The Smurfs, and I also really liked to watch Dallas with my mom because every Friday night we would sit down with TV dinners and we'd watch Dallas on Friday night. It was kind of our special day.
What was your favorite TV show?
My favorite TV show? Well, it's a tie because I love G.I. Joe, as you know, and G.I. Joe had a cartoon. Loved that cartoon, and also Transformers had a cartoon. I like to watch that too.
What was your favorite TV show?
The Lone Ranger.
What was your favorite TV show?
The Flintstones. I got the Pebbles doll as soon as Pebbles was born.
What were your chores?
We had to do dishes every night after dinner, and we had to take care of the littler kids. And then on the weekends, we had to do dusting and sweeping and all that.
What were your chores?
My chores growing up were cleaning my bedroom, doing the dishes, and taking care of the animals at my dad's house. When I'd go to his house, I'd help clean out the stalls.
What were your chores?
My chores, well, one chore that I would do would be mowing the yard in the summertime, taking care of the yard. But the other one that I did on a more regular basis would I had to keep my room clean.
What were your chores?
Mowing the yard, cutting the hedges, and taking care of the rabbits.
What were your chores?
I helped my mom can and feed the cats, and I did all the dishes for the family.
What was your least favorite chore growing up?
Dusting furniture, and I still don't like to do it.
What was your least favorite chore growing up?
My least favorite chore growing up was dishes, and I still do not like to do the dishes. That's why I have a dishwasher.
What was your least favorite chore growing up?
Cleaning my room. I didn't like to clean my room. It's difficult. It's a big room. Very, very messy if I'm in it.
What was your least favorite chore growing up?
Cleaning the rabbit cages.
What was your least favorite chore growing up?
Working in the garden.
What did you enjoy doing with your grandparents?
The thing we liked to do the most was go out to Rising Park in Lancaster, and they had a big playground, and you could walk up to the top of Mount Pleasant, and then we would always feed the ducks at the pond.
What did you enjoy doing with your grandparents?
Well, my mom's mom and dad babysat me every day after school, and I spent a lot of time with them doing lots of different things. Mainly, we'd watch TV together and sit on the front porch and swing, but she always made me cookies and juice after school for an after-school snack. And with my dad's mom and dad, I enjoyed gardening and taking care of flowers and cooking with my grandma.
What did you enjoy doing with your grandparents?
Well, with my grandparents, my mom's parents, I would work in the garden with my grandpa Irvin. He had a great big garden, and I'd like to go out there and work on the garden. And sometimes he would pull up a turnip, and he would clean it off and let us eat a turnip out of the garden. And it's like the only time I would eat a turnip was when it came around the garden. I'd eat it. And then my grandma Irvin, she would always find me bottle caps or cardboard boxes and things, and she'd give them to me, and I could make my own toys out of them. I made little cars and forts and things with the toys. And my grandma and Grandpa Prohl, my Grandpa Prohl was in the Army during World War II, so I liked to talk to him about that, and he had a photo book that he would show me pictures and talk about his time there. And my Grandma Prohl, one of the things I remember doing, I got this toy wrestling ring, and the wrestlers were on sticks, and you controlled the sticks, and they would wrestle. And I was wrestling her, and I noticed her wrestler was slowing down. And I looked up, and she was asleep. So I heard it one, and she didn't know. But she could do that. She could fall asleep and crochet, and she'd fall asleep, and then she would wake up and then go right back to crocheting. Never miss a beat.
What did you enjoy doing with your grandparents?
Fishing.
What did you enjoy doing with your grandparents?
Well, I got to spend the weekend sometimes with my mom's mother, and that was probably my favorite thing, because pretty much I got to do just about anything when I was at her house.
What was your favorite school subject?
Probably history. I still like history, and I still read about it.
What was your favorite school subject?
My favorite school subject when I was little was probably reading. I enjoyed reading, but as I got older, I learned to really love science. And I like social studies and history a lot too.
What was your favorite school subject?
My favorite school subject? Well, now I teach 6th grade social studies, and my favorite subject in school was social studies and history.
What was your favorite school subject?
Electronics.
What was your favorite school subject?
Home economics, because I love to sew.
Who is your favorite president?
That's an easy one. John F. Kennedy was my favorite president. He ran for office when I was a freshman, and the girls at my high school interviewed him in Columbus, And then, of course, he was killed when the year that I graduated.
Who is your favorite president?
My favorite president is Franklin Delano Roosevelt because he did a lot to help our country come out of the Great Depression and finish up World War II. He did a lot to help our country.
Who is your favorite president?
My favorite president was Franklin Roosevelt. He beat the Great Depression, he beat Adolf Hitler, and you can't beat that.
Who is your favorite president?
President Kennedy.
Who is your favorite president?
John F. Kennedy.
What did you want to be when you were growing up?
I know this is funny, but actually when I was growing up, I wanted to be a trapeze artist. We used to watch this circus show all the time on Saturdays, and then a movie came out called Trapeze, and I really thought I'd like to be one of those.
What did you want to be when you were growing up?
When I was growing up, I really wanted to be a veterinarian. I spent a lot of time at my dad's house on the weekends, and I learned to love animals and taking care of them, and I really wanted to learn to take care of them.
What did you want to be when you were growing up?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably the thing I probably wanted to be from the earliest age is some kind of entertainer. I'm an actor or something. I always would put on plays every Thanksgiving for my family members and force my cousins and my sister to be the other actors. So that was probably that.
What did you want to be when you were growing up?
Electrician.
What did you want to be when you were growing up?
I wanted to be an architect.
What was your first job?
My first job was I worked for a week at a dry cleaners when they opened in Circleville.
What was your first job?
My first job was babysitting. I started babysitting when I was about 12 years old, and I babysat my whole lot, like all the way growing up through high school. I babysat for lots of different kids in the summer, and I think that's probably why I ended up being a teacher, because I've always had a love of children.
What was your first job?
My first job, well, I always tell people, I said, I have worked every day of my life since I was in 6th grade. But my first job, when I was in 6th grade, was paperboy. And so we would deliver papers, the Chillicothe Gazette, all the way around the neighborhood.
What was your first job?
I worked at the U.S. Shoe Corporation.
What was your first job?
I worked at Safety Town. We taught preschoolers safety rules for riding their bikes and just walking on the sidewalk and crossing the streets to be safe.
What are some of your favorite memories?
Going on family picnics. We would go to parks and sometimes to museums and that kind of thing. Christmas, holidays, because we always had a big crowd at our house. It was always a lot of fun. Now I like being with family too.
What are some of your favorite memories?
Some of my favorite memories are our family picnics. We went on lots of family picnics growing up. My mom had 7 brothers and sisters, my aunts and uncles, and I have lots and lots and lots and lots of cousins, and we would always get together and go on family picnics at different state parks, and we'd eat and go on hikes and have a really good time. Holidays, especially Christmas, were also very fond memories because there were always so many of us together, and we did lots of fun things together.
What are some of your favorite memories?
Some of my favorite memories, going on vacation with my parents, going to the beach. I love to go to the beach. I love to build sandcastles and then ride around on the waves. Those are fun times for me.
What are some of your favorite memories?
Going on picnics and 4th of July parties and fishing.
What are some of your favorite memories?
Oh, my dad was a railroader, so during the summer, his car would be in his home base, which was Cincinnati. So we would ride the train from Chillicothe to Cincinnati, get his car, got to go to Shoney's in the middle of the night, and come home. And that was a real treat for us. We loved it.
What are some of your favorite memories?
I think that's my favorite of all, is riding the train. Because we got to go, my dad worked the train from Chillicothe to Parkersburg and then from Chillicothe to Cincinnati, so we got to go both places. And my favorite thing was when we got to Cincinnati is to go into Union Terminal. It's still there and it's beautiful. Well, we all went there to the museum, didn't we? It was great.
I learned a lot about my family doing this project. I hope you learned a lot too. I recommend doing this project because it helps you learn a lot about your family. Thanks for watching.
You're welcome. Love you.
Love you too. Thanks for letting me interview you.
I love you, Hopi.
Love you too. Thanks for letting me interview you.
Well, thank you, baby.
Thanks for letting me interview you.
Well, thank you for taking your time.
Thanks for letting me interview you.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart.